Welcome to Curio Pages. From soulful singers and electrifying rappers to captivating narrators and jaw-dropping beatboxers, some voices have the power to mesmerize the world. But what makes a voice truly beautiful? In this video, we take a deep dive into the fascinating science and skill behind the human voice. Did you know that every time you use your voice, you're performing, not just speaking, but playing one of the most complex musical instruments ever known to humankind? Yes, your voice is a musical marvel. You are, in fact, acting like a musical virtuoso. You're using an instrument so intricate, so refined, that we've barely begun to fully understand its potential. And yet, you've been learning how to use it since the moment you were born. From your first cries to your first words, you've been practicing your whole life. At the core of this instrument are the vocal cords, just a small part of the system that produces our voice. Controlling these cords is a task of remarkable precision. 16 tiny muscles, the most delicate in the human body, work in unison to move them. These muscles can shift the cords into more than 100 unique positions, but the real magic happens with air. Just the right amount of air needs to be pushed upward through the trachea, making the cords vibrate in exactly the right way. If they vibrate slowly, say around 80 times per second, we hear deep, low tones. If they vibrate quickly, up to 1,000 times per second, we hear high-pitched sounds. And the general pitch of your voice? That's largely determined by the length of your vocal cords. But the vocal cords are only the beginning. The human voice is produced by a full-body mechanism, an extraordinary system made of bones, muscles, mucous membranes, and resonating spaces. These resonators are like the sounding board of a violin, amplifying and shaping the voice as it travels. Among them, the windpipe, the lungs, the throat, the mouth, the nose, the sinuses, and the chest. The range and richness of your voice depends on the shape and size of these spaces. People with naturally beautiful voices often have resonators shaped in a way that turns their entire body into a finely tuned instrument. But having these structures isn't enough. To truly master the voice, you must learn how to control it, with subtlety, with sensitivity, and with artistry. This is what makes a singer's voice so captivating. They use their whole vocal system, every part, from the diaphragm in the abdomen to the frontal sinuses in the head. Their strength lies in their control, how well they can shape pitch, volume, and emotion. That control is developed through practice, repetition, and years of training. Poor singers, they don't necessarily lack talent, they lack motor control. And the same principle applies to professional narrators. I recently came across an article on storytelling narration that broke this down beautifully. It explained that voice work, whether for audiobooks, documentaries, or performances, relies on a blend of natural ability and learned skill. To become a great narrator, you need to master a number of key voiceover techniques. Clear and accurate articulation, pronouncing every word cleanly without overdoing it. Maintaining a steady, smooth vocal flow, free of clicks, pops, and noise. You also need emotional control. A story may swing between joy, fear, tension, and heartbreak, and your voice needs to follow with precision, not overwhelm. You must feel the emotion, but deliver it with balance. Expressiveness and coherence are equally critical. Your voice should connect with listeners, evoking emotions while keeping your delivery smooth and relaxed. And then there's the power of a pause. Knowing when to pause can give your audience space to absorb the moment. Pauses create rhythm. They create impact. They give life to the narrative. Consistency is another vital skill. Narrating a long story, often over multiple days, requires vocal stamina. Your voice must sound natural and uninterrupted, no matter how long the project. One narrator voicing multiple characters, split-screen style, each with different clothing and facial expressions to reflect diverse characters. Characterization also plays a key role. A great narrator brings every character to life through voice, altering tone, age, accent, and attitude to reflect their unique traits. Accents, when used properly, add flavor and depth, but overdoing them or using them poorly can distract or alienate the audience. That's why awareness and restraint are so important. Even in serious stories, humor has its place. A touch of lightness can offer relief and keep listeners engaged. Humor, when timed right, is one of the narrator's greatest tools. Of course, no performance is complete without preparation. A good narrator studies the story beforehand. They read it, understand it, feel it, so that when they speak, it sounds natural, as if they're recounting a memory, not reading from a page. Recording a demo is the final step before going live. It lets the narrator hear themselves from the listener's perspective, fine-tuning pitch, pace, and tone before the final take. The voice is an instrument of wonder. Whether you're performing opera or reading bedtime stories, your voice is a fusion of biology, art, and emotion. It tells stories, it shares knowledge, it expresses who we are. And like all great instruments, it sings, it speaks, it inspires. That's all we have for today. Have a nice day.